Alright, in this video we are going to be doing a update 4.5 weapon tier list. I'm pretty sure I included every weapon that was added. It's pretty much the same as update 4 tier list. It just includes the new weapons being Hollows, Fang, and the Scythe. I didn't include Prestige Candy Cane because it's the same as normal Candy Cane, so obviously the weapon is going to be ranked the same. But the tier list is mainly different because of the new damage scaling, so that kind of changes how good some weapons are in comparison to how they used to be. But yeah, that's enough of that, and let's just get right into the tier list, I guess. So in the first tier we have one sword style weapons. These weapons are just the one sword style weapons. I don't even have them ranked in order in their strength, I just have them ranked. I think they actually might be coincidentally ranked in strength. I don't know if the Kraken katana is better than the Musashi Rose katana and the Crimson katana, but if it is worse than those, then I do have it ranked in strength. Actually, no, I don't. I think I have Sea Beast katana behind Ryu's. Yeah, it's not ranked in strength, but yeah, that's one sword style. They're weapons that you're not gonna. They have no skills unless you're using one sword style or two sword style now, I guess. But yeah, obviously I'm not gonna rank those. Then we have our first real tier, which is D tier. The only one in here is Bells, because it's the only weapon in the game with just one skill, and that skill does not inflict any damage. Bells' damage scaling is also pretty bad. It also has like fast M1s, or does it have like medium speed M1s? I don't know, but yeah, it's given one skill, and that's to heal. It heals a decent amount and skills off your max HP, but when that's your only skill, you're just gonna end up like switching to it and maybe like gaining a little bit of HP, and that's all you're going to be using Bells for. So slides its way into D tier. Now the biggest tier we have is actually C tier, and that consists of Flowers. Flowers is in C tier because one of its skills is useless almost, which is the one where you smell the flowers and then you gain some stamina. That skill is very, very much so like borderline useless. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use that skill for like an actual purpose, because the amount of stamina you get is very small and not very good. But you do get one free true combo extender, which is good. Like, it's nothing too crazy. Its damage scaling is bad. It has short range, I think. Yeah, it has short range and medium speed M1s, and its damage scaling is not very good. So yeah, it just slides itself into C tier. You get one free extra and one combo. That's pretty mediocre. Then you have Bacento, which its skills, it has good damage scaling because it's a slow swinging weapon, and it also has a fairly high base damage as well, so that's good. Another thing is that its skills are, it also has far range. Yeah, far range, slow M1s, good damage scaling, but its skills are lacking, which is why I put it in C tier. One of its skills is very easy to PB, and then even though both skills are guard breaks, one is a rapid hitting move that punishes the person who lands it for some reason, and then the other one is a very easy to PB skill that has knockback, and so even if you do guard break, you probably won't be able to punish. So the skill isn't very good. It deals decent damage, but the skill itself isn't very good. And then we have the Golden Hook, which has fast M1s, short range. Its damage is okay with its M1s, but it has a very good damage grab, and when you combine that grab with the poison, but the thing about the poison, which is its other skill, is that it doesn't hit through Logia bar. So that kind of sucks. Like, the fact that it doesn't hit through Logia really is annoying, because that poison actually does deal like fairly good damage over a good duration of time. When you combine it with the grab, you'll be doing like really serious damage. But the fact that one of its skills is practically useless against a majority of the people in Arena, I'd say a majority of the people in Arena are Logia users, right? It kind of ruins it. I'm not gonna lie, kind of ruins it. But yeah, the weapon is okay. So then we have Crab Cutlass, which has changed drastically from Update 4. In Update 4, it was a S tier weapon. Now it is a C tier weapon because Lunge got nerfed and Air the up tilting into skills got nerfed because the stun when you're up after you up tilt got reduced. So doing it up tilting into lunge is no longer a true combo extender. And also Crab Cutlass had very good damage, but its damage got nerfed into the ground since it has incredibly fast M1s. So its M1 damage is very low now, and its speed is still high, but its skills got nerfed, and it got indirectly nerfed by the airtime nerf. So yeah, you're just left with a fairly mediocre weapon at best. So yeah, it's not very good. Its other skill, it wasn't affected, I don't think, at all. So that skill is still fairly good. Like I think you can still up tilt into ladder. I'm not sure. I know you cannot up tilt into lunge, but you might be able to still up tilt into ladder and then get a true like height can off or something, if that's still possible. But yeah, the weapon is just not very good anymore. Then we have Gravity Blade. So Gravity Blade has always been in B tier. Its damage is okay. Its skills are just okay. The weapon is all around just okay. Like Frenzy, being able to get M1s after it is really good. Field is a weird move to use. It's kind of like a bit of an awkward move to land because it has a fairly big wind up, so everyone can tell when you're going to go for it, and it's guardable. Both of Gravity Blade's moves are actually guardable. So yeah, and it's just kind of difficult getting the skills off without PBing first. So landing the skills is a little difficult, but the M1s, they're not too bad. I actually haven't tested what its damage scaling is like, but I think it has fast M1s, so that's probably fairly low damage, which would explain why I haven't seen very many Gravity Blade users at all in update 4.5. Next we have Kiribati. Now Kiribati actually does fairly good damage because, again, update 4.5, and it's a slow swinging weapon, so its damage is, with its M1s, is fairly good. Its range is also good. It has very far range. Its skills though are not good. They're not very good skills. They're hard to use. Neither of them have hyper armor, and they both have big windups. So when you get that, I mean, they're rewarding if you do land them, especially Frenzy, but like they're just too difficult of skills to land. The M1s for the weapon are not bad though. It's just the skills kind of suck. Then we have Golden Pole, or Enru's Staff, or Nail Staff, whatever you'd like to call it. This weapon is unique. On its own, this weapon is not very good. On its own, I could argue that even it's like D tier, because its only really good skill ends up being like pole counter, and even then that's not like that good of a skill. It's just like, it's kind of good. It also has like a really long cooldown, so it's a hard move to rely on, and it's also the only weapon in the game with 3 skills, I believe. So yeah, but you get 2 rapid hitting moves, one that's punishable to the user if they land it, and then the other one has knockback and doesn't deal very high damage. So yeah, you kind of just have like almost 2 useless moves, and then a pole counter. Pole counter is a good move, but it just has a long cooldown. But when you combine this weapon with if you're either a Mink or a Goro user, you're given extra stun time on all of your M1s, which is very useful. You can actually do some pretty crazy combos with that. It just elevates the weapon even better. You're given you can do a lot more combos that normally wouldn't be true, but you can make them true. I mean, back in the day, you used to always see a Hiei, Mink, Enru's Staff blackleg user, and those would always be annoying. Or was it Roku? It might have been Roku, I don't know, but yeah. So that's definitely something. So yeah, the weapon is in a unique spot because by itself, I might even put it in D tier, but when you have that electric stun on those M1s, it may be a bit out there. It may not be something that people would normally go for, but it's definitely something that's good whenever you have it with electrified M1s, because you just get so much more combo ability with other things, like you could combine it with a different fighting style or a different a different devil fruit, and you're given a lot more combo ability and creative liberty with that weapon. Okay, now for the above average weapons. Like, these weapons are actually like really good. In B tier we have Elo's Hammer, which is a bit of a shocker that I put it in here, but I put Elo's hammer in here because Pounding Festival does some serious damage. Even though up tilting into it is not true anymore, it's still not too hard of a skill to land, especially if you can take advantage of like other fruits and fighting styles to help you get it off. For example, I used Marrow and up tilted into the Charm, and then I did Pounding Festival, which usually worked out for me, so that was great. I'm sure if you were just a Hiei user of some sort, you could get them in stun, or if you were a Marrow user and landed Burst, you could get them in stun and land a Festival. PB them, land a Festival. Anything really, guard break, you would just go for your Festival, because landing Festival is very, very, very rewarding. And then, the only thing that was holding back Elo's hammer prior to update 4.5 was that it's horrible damage scaling in combination with its slow M1s. But now, its M1 damage scaling is actually really good. It can do upwards of like 50 damage in M1, like over 50 damage in M1, which is great in combination with a 60-tick Pounding Festival. You could just do some really good damage. And then you have Elo Smash, which is a guard break with hyper armor, not to mention both skills have hyper armor, so that's really good. Yeah, it's just a really solid weapon. Maybe putting it in B tier was a bit of a mistake. Actually, I think now that I'm saying this, maybe it belongs in A tier and not B tier. But yeah, I don't know. I think actually it does belong in A tier, to be honest. Now that I'm saying this out loud, but yeah. So next is Candy Cane. Candy Cane, in my opinion, is fairly overrated. People like it a lot, but I do think it's B tier. One of its skills is useless. It has decent damage scaling for fast M1s, I'll give it that. It can do like 40 damage in M1, even though it has fast M1s, so that's pretty good. It also has really good range for having fast M1s, so its M1s definitely do end up carrying the weapon. Flash Freeze is a decent skill. It's nothing crazy. It's a good skill, but it's not all that. It's B tier. Like, one of its skills is borderline useless. The other skill is good. Its M1s are good, so you're just left with something that's just good. Yeah, not too much to say. And also, obviously, I'm gonna rank Prestige CC the same as normal CC. But yeah. Next we have Hollow's Fang. Hollow's Fang is a weapon that you could really put in a lot of different tiers depending on how good you are with it, because it's a weapon that is very based on your skill and your creative ability with it. Its kit is very unique. You're given a rapid hitting move that guard breaks that you can get M1s off with, which is nice. Very short bursted, which isn't too unique of a skill, but it's still a good skill. And then you're also given the mark, the teleportation mark. I can't remember what it's called, like Shadow's mark maybe. I don't know what it's called at all, to be honest. But it allows you to place down a shadow clone pretty much, and then you can teleport to that shadow clone as long as you're within range of it. So yeah, it allows you to get like you can use it as a M1 like a combo extender if you'd like. And that's really good. And you can also use it to get off your other skill easily, which is also really good. So when you combine those two skills together, you can get something really good. And you're also like, you don't have to, you can use it to get other skills off with other fighting styles or other weapons. So that would normally be hard to get off, but you'd end up making them easy to get off. So that's really rewarding, and it also feels really cool to use. Like whenever you're landing that and you teleport around. And you're also not limited to just use the teleport like that. You could use it as to dodge certain attacks with long windups to them. Like if you were planning on using it as a combo extender, but they just move too far, and then they check out a skill that you can't block because of block buffer or something, you just teleport away. You can do that too. It can really, it's a very versatile skill, teleporting around. It's also a really creative skill, and it can be applied in a fight in a lot of different ways. So the weapon may not be for everyone. Like I could understand if you put it in A tier, I could understand if you put it in C tier, so I decided to put it in B tier, just because it really is dependent on how well you can use it and how it fits your playstyle. It's definitely a unique weapon, by all means. So yeah, that wraps up B tier though. Next we have A tier, which is Trident. Now Trident I would probably put in S tier, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for its damage scaling have gotten nerfed because of its fast M1s. It does not do very good damage with its M1s anymore. You can still use Impale as a combo extender with Eruption, which is still good. I don't know if you can still up tilt, not Impale, Pole I mean. I don't know if you can still up tilt into Pole, but if you can, that's still really good. But yeah, it's just its damage scaling is really bad now, so it's kind of a hard weapon to rely on in that sense. The weapon is still very solid though, its skills are still very good, but it's just the M1s aren't as good as they used to be, so it's not an S tier, but it's an A tier. Next we have S tier, and S tier, I have two weapons. I have the Demon Jester's Scythe in S tier, and I have the Kraken Greatsword. So the Demon Jester's Scythe is in A tier because I think everybody knows that it's probably the best weapon in the game. It has a like fairly big range, like long, fair ranged, and like it like pulls in, as that's the guard break. It literally pulls in, and it's a very easy guard break to land. It's practically a free guard break. Missing it is kind of a difficult thing to do, considering the fact that it pulls the person in. So that's really good. And you can also sometimes get true M1s. I don't know if I want to call them true, but you can sometimes get M1s off of the guard break. And the other skill is slice. You literally just cut upwards, and I've seen people up tilt into it and then get like a true high Ken off. I don't know if it is actually. I don't know why I keep calling these things true. I don't know if it is true, but every time I tried blocking, I couldn't like stop them from landing the high Ken. So I just assumed it was true in the moment, but I'm not too positive about that. But yeah, you're just given like two very solid skills, and you also have a lot of range, good speed, and good M1 scaling. So you're just given like all around a really well-rounded weapon that also looks sick too. I mean, that doesn't add to it, but it just does. It looks dope. So yeah, it's all around S tier. You're given two great skills, great M1 scaling, good speed, and yeah, it's just really good. Next, you have Kraken Greatsword. I think Kraken Greatsword is the best slow swinging weapon. Its guard break has hyper armor, and then you're also given a high damage dealing rapid hitting move that you can get M1s off with. So that's really good. That and Scythe are like they're kind of like opposites, because one is like real quick and sleek and like fast and all that, and then Kraken Greatsword is real slow and heavy hitting. And so I mean, both of them do good damage, but the skills for Kraken Greatsword definitely do more damage, and its M1 scaling is better than Scythe's, so I'll have to give it that. But both weapons are definitely very good, and both weapons are both very, very good in their own right. But if I had to say which one was better than the other, I would probably say Scythe, but there are definitely some builds out there where Kraken Greatsword would be better. So that's my tier list. Hopefully you guys don't hate it. Hopefully people don't get mad at me for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.